is your host, Juneann Lewis. Today I've got one of those stories that's going to move you. I'm heading out to meet with Miss Sharon D. Johnson. This woman is what you call inspirational, and I know I say that all the time, but listen, Miss Johnson has got one of those phenomenal lives. Molested at age 6, became a drug dealer, was a teenage pregnant mom, had 5 kids by the time she was age 23, was almost going to spend 30 years in jail, but she turned it around. Today, this woman is an author, she's a philanthropist, she's an entrepreneur, doing dynamic. And I'm going to tell you, you've got to hear this story because I know somebody's life is going to be changed by this one. Listen, let's head out and meet Miss Johnson.
Thank you, Juneann, for inviting me. I am so excited to be here. I get so excited with every opportunity I have to share my story.
Thank you so much for offering to be on the show. Listen, we're going to get right into it because this is serious stuff that's going on, that you have going on in your life. And we really need to let the world know because somebody's life is going to be changed by what you have experienced. I know it's going to make a difference. So let's begin. Sharon, we already mentioned you're a philanthropist. We already said that you're an author. We already said you're an entrepreneur. But we know that your life did not start off that way. Let's begin by talking about Sharon the child. Tell me about when you were 6 years old. What happened when you were 6 years old?
When I was 6 years old, Juneann, I was molested by family members. Some of them supposed to be taking care of me. In fact, they took advantage of me.
Took advantage.
Oh,
instead.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and in the sense that you were, I know that I've read the book, and for those of you who have not read the book, you've got to get the book because in the book you start off by talking about your grandmother leaving you with a family member, and that was your first sexual molestation.
Yeah, it started with family members leaving me with my older teenage cousin.
Yes.
She left me with the next door neighbor. And they just took advantage.
They just took advantage of the situation.
Yes.
So yeah, and in the sense that you even mentioned about in your book about you being able to know what it is that they wanted you to do because you've been molested so much.
Yeah, Juneann, at one point in your life you go through all the same thing over and over and over and over again. At some point you're going to become familiar with it.
Yes.
And one point in my life when I was left with other teenagers' cousins.
Yes.
And they made a move. I was already familiar. I knew just what to do. I knew what they wanted.
You knew what they wanted.
Exactly.
And you knew what to do. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And because of this, we're going to talk about you were a teenage pregnant mom. How old were you when you had your first child?
I was 13 years old when I had my first child. By the age 23, I already had 5 kids.
You'd already have the 5 children.
Yes.
And you had, and these are all the same father?
All
or
different fathers.
All different fathers.
Yes.
But this came as a result of you experiencing sexual molestation. That gave you a thirst and a desire to want to be with other people. Is that what happened?
You are so correct. You hit it right on the point.
Yes.
I'm telling you, as I turned into my teens, I had a strong desire just to be with men. That feeling just stayed on me so bad.
Yes, because of what happened, yes.
Yes.
And now, I know that you got the 5th child by the time you were age 23.
Yes.
Right. In between that, something happened. When you were pregnant with your first child, in the book it said, what major happened when you told the father of the first child?
When I told the father of my first child, he's like, no, this is not my baby. He moved on. He was a football player on the varsity team, and all the girls were crazy about him. At one point, he just stopped calling, stopped talking to me, and I was on the porch one day, and I looked up. He was walking by with my best friend, holding hands.
So your best friend stole your boyfriend?
Yes.